What's up guys, it's Tellum. Haven't said that in a while, or maybe ever, but regardless, we're going to be doing a top 10 list, and I just realized I said we're going to be doing a top 10 list even though you guys had no input in this list beforehand. But actually, no, I take that back. The reason why I said we're going to be having a top 10 list is because no matter if you guys had any input beforehand, it won't matter because we will all unanimously agree with everything I'm about to say in this video. So it is proper to say we are going to be making a top 10 list. And also I should mention we're making a top 10 list of the top 10 things that we want inside Black Ops 4. So with that said, let's actually jump into this top 10 list. Actually, I don't like the order I put in on this Word document that I have right here, so I'm going to be changing it up. And we're first going to start off with number 10, and that's free DLC for everybody. And yes, I know everybody has already said this, and that's okay, but I must also say it because that's what everybody else is saying. And I want to say that we just have to have free DLC. Just look at all the other games that are doing this system with free DLC, which I can't even think of one that's actually doing a free DLC system right now. But look how Fortnite, yes, well look at Fortnite. I don't know exactly if they do the same DLC system that I guess Call of Duty and so many other games do, but let's just point at Fortnite like everybody else and say, yeah, their system, yeah, do that, okay guys? No, but really I just want to not pay for stuff. I mean, isn't that better if I just don't pay for stuff? So let's just say it anyways, free DLC for everybody. Then number 9 I want to talk about, and that is the BR mode. And if they must, and it seems like it is very likely, but if they must put a BR mode, they will have two options. They can make a smaller version of BR and just have, I guess, maybe a 50-person or maybe 30-person games with smaller maps and all that stuff. Or they could just try to do the 100 game thing and make that work. However it will, I don't know if it will or not, but they'll just try to do that. And if they do the normal one that has 100 players, then I guess just copy what everybody else is doing. But if you're going to make a smaller version of BR, I want to see multiple BR maps. No questions. If it's going to be smaller, and if you stopped campaign to make BR, then they have to at the very least come with multiple BR maps, and there has to be more added on throughout the DLC season. If not, I will be very disappointed in you, and that's all that will happen because I can't really do anything else, but I will still be very disappointed if that's not the case. But anyways, our next one we're going to is number 8, and of course this is supply drops. And personally, I don't have a problem with the supply drop system that exists inside World War II, nor did I have a problem with the one that existed inside Advanced Warfare, excuse me, Infinite Warfare. Advanced Warfare wasn't that great either. But all I'm asking is to just copy one of the other development studios from these past 2 years and just do not do a Black Ops 3 system, please. Please, just don't do that. It's so bad. I have only one. I have the MX Garand. That's my only ranged supply drop weapon. I got to Prestige 7 in that game. You would think I would at least get something besides that. Like, come on. It's just such a bad system inside Black Ops 3. So just don't do that again. Just don't. It's stupid. And the only reason, and this is one problem I'm having with everybody, is kind of a little off subject, I guess you could say, but it's just that a lot of people have this blind love for Treyarch, and because of that, they're able to put in these trash supply drop systems, and nobody really complains about them as much as they would do in some other game if it wasn't developed by Treyarch. So guys, just be wary of them taking advantage of your blind love for Treyarch. So just watch out for that, because we might get another really trashy supply drop system inside Black Ops 4. So anyways, moving on to the next one. One other thing I think has to happen when the game launches is that, wait, what are we on actually? We're on 7, I believe. Yes, 7, 10, 9, 8. Yeah, okay. For number 7, I'm going to say that we have to have 2 zombies maps at launch. We have to have Mob of the Dead, a remake, not remastered, and of course we need to have some other special unique map that we've never seen before. And they should all be very good maps and both have main Easter eggs, because imagine how cool that is to do 2 Easter egg hunts at the same time. I think that would be really cool, so I hope they do that, because I kind of wish they did that with Black Ops 3 having the Giant and Shadows of Evil, but the Giant never had a main Easter egg, so it made it like kind of awkward. But regardless, I would love to see 2 Easter egg hunts going on at the exact same time. I think it'd just be an absolute blast to have that, and you know, just 2 maps. That's just, I mean, what could go wrong with 2 maps? It just sounds like a beautiful idea. But then our next one, number 6, is this one's kind of a smaller one, but I just gotta say it because it's just so annoying inside Black Ops 3, and the fact that the last 2 Call of Duties did not have it, but it's theater mode. Now, I'm pretty confident that they will have a theater mode inside Black Ops 4, but I'm worried it's gonna be trashed like from Black Ops 3. Just really look back to Black Ops 2's theater mode. Look how good that was. You could save matches just forever. You don't have to worry about them disappearing after a while. It wasn't nearly as glitchy. It was just a really nice theater mode. Then Black Ops 3 comes along and it's so trash. It was just so bad for zombies. Like, it'd get glitched out all the time. It would crash. It's just so bad for zombies. I absolutely despise the theater mode inside Black Ops 3. So what you gotta do is just add theater mode similar to how you did inside Black Ops 2, where it was actually good. Just do a good theater mode. But anyways, number 5 I want to talk about is actually some way to compensate your players for past DLC weapons they got and consumables they got. And one way they could do this is if they carry on your gobblegums from Black Ops 3 to Black Ops 4, which they may or may not do. That would be a good way to compensate the players. But then there's also the other option of well, I guess the other side, I should say, not other option, but then there's multiplayer, which I think has a way bigger problem than zombies does, because the problem with the supply drop system, or the biggest problem with it, is that when you get those guns, you only have them for that 1 year that Call of Duty's popular, and after that they're completely useless. You think I'm going to be using some variants from Advanced Warfare now? No, those things are completely useless to us. So what I'm saying is that they should compensate us for guns we've got in the past. I don't really know exactly how they should do it. I could go and, you know, that would be way too long, but I could say stuff, but that'll just make this video too long and I don't want to do so. But I do think they should compensate us for consumables and just everything we get through DLC and supply drop things, or not DLC, like, well, you guys know what I mean, supply drops and just random generate stuff. I do think we should be compensated for that every single year. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about, and I believe we're on number 4, hopefully that's correct, but if they are not going to have a campaign, which seems very likely, then I still do hope they have a story mode. It doesn't have to be as big or as crazy as campaign, but just a story to continue the Black Ops story, because it makes no sense to keep calling it Black Ops if it's not going to continue the story of Black Ops. It just makes no sense at all to do so, so they should at least add some sort of mode that will carry on the story. Again, it does not have to be to the level of a normal campaign, just something to continue this story. That's all I want out of a story mode for Black Ops 4. It doesn't have to be a campaign, it just, to me, has to be something that will continue the story. But anyways, next thing I want to talk about, and these are some things I actually think are way cooler, and I just don't know exactly the order I should put them in because they're just really cool. But anyways, next one we're going to be talking about is number 3, I believe we're on. Hopefully that's correct, and that has to be dynamic maps. And there's a really good example of how I want the dynamic maps to be inside Black Ops 4 and just any future Call of Duty. All they have to look at is the BR mode for Call of Duty Online, and if you guys haven't seen gameplay of it, you guys should look it up and watch it because it's really cool. Not only do they have one of the coolest announcers I've ever heard inside Call of Duty, which for some reason he speaks English in, but that's besides the point, but the map, just as you're playing a map of VR, the weather changes. It becomes dark, the nighttime comes, it starts being day again, it'll start raining. Fog can be done so well inside multiplayer. I think it'd be way better in multiplayer than zombies. Imagine how cool that'd be. Also, the map gets foggy for a little bit. I just want dynamic maps for multiplayer. Zombies, yes, but as long as it's not fog, I mean, I wouldn't mind rain and it getting dark. Like, imagine how cool that'd be. Just seeing how the map would look at day and night. It would just, I think it'd be so cool if the time would just change for both zombies and multiplayer. I think dynamic maps just would be so good for just Call of Duty as a whole, and I really hope that they would do that, because especially when you're going for those high rounds in zombies, imagine how cool that'd be if you see the sun going up and down. It'd just be really cool to just feel like time is passing passing while you're playing, instead of having like a 10-hour game and for some reason it's still daytime. And you know, it'd just be cool because it'd give you that feeling of realism as whatever that counts for. But regardless, I do think dynamic maps would be so very cool. But anyways, we're going to number 2, and number 2 are wager matches. And I'm sure you guys have heard about these from Black Ops, and that's the only time they've ever been there. And they were okay back there, how they worked. I mean, a lot of people like them. Personally, I wasn't really playing multiplayer all that much, but from what I've heard of and really seen and played, I mean, they're okay, but I do think that these things should be returning, except in a different way, because as you guys are aware, we have things called armory credits that can only be earned through the game. But they would be super cool if you can gamble your games on these. Like, they are not worth any actual value, so I don't think this would make any legal problems. But imagine how cool that'd be. Just bet some armory credits to get more, and then just all that good stuff. All you have to do is win, and just completely based on skill. It'd be so cool. I would love to see that inside Call of Duty, because it could just raise, you know, the stakes of everything to a level it's never really been. Like, it doesn't matter if you lose a Call of Duty game all that much unless you care about your stats and all that stuff. But for the most part, people don't really care if they win or lose, die or live. Well, I guess it slightly annoys people, but the stakes would be to a next level. And plus, for the people who are really good at the game, it can make it easier for them to go ahead and get the new DLC weapons by buying it through armory credits or whatever they're called inside Black Ops 4. And I think that'd be an amazing feature for Black Ops 4. Now, before I get to number 1, at least hopefully I didn't skip over one, hopefully I remember how to count down, but regardless, right before that, I gotta mention 2 things, and these 2 we may not unanimously agree on. Well, at least the first one, but this one is something I wanted to put on the list, but I just didn't think it was a big enough thing to talk about, and that is customizable score streaks. And personally, and I promise I will make a video on this in the future, but I think that the best score streak system, not the best score streaks, but the best score streak system was in Advanced Warfare. I just like customizable score streaks. They let you do so much with them, and I would love to see that return. And that one we may not unanimously agree on, because I know a lot of people like the other ones because they're like idiots or something like that, something along those lines. But anyways, the other thing I want to mention before we get to number 1 is cross-platform play. And the reason why I didn't have this on the top 10 list is because I think that this is out of the power of both Activision and Treyarch and any development studio. This is completely on PlayStation right now, and I don't know why more people aren't pressuring PlayStation to just allow them to have cross-platform play. That would just help every game, not even just Call of Duty. They'll help every single multiplayer game that exists, and I just think that would be so much better for absolutely everybody, just having cross-platform play between everybody. It'd just be the best. But with those 2 out of the way, let's actually talk about the number 1 thing on my list, and this has to easily be the map editor. If we had a map editor inside Call of Duty, I would lose it, guys. Oh my gosh, you guys do not believe how much I believe it's called Forged inside Halo, and it was just so fun editing the maps and making your own maps no matter how bad they were. It was just so fun to do that, and I love it. And just imagine, not only in multiplayer, but we also had this in zombies. Imagine how cool a map editor for zombies, that you could put some of the Wonder Spheres or whatever, the bounce pads, whatever you want to call them. I can't even remember what they're exactly called. Just imagine putting those all over the place. It'd be so cool to edit the maps like that just from your own console without having to have super complicated mod tools, which would be an absolute pain. And maybe we can even build some maps from scratch too. I mean, they did it with Halo 3. That was like, how many years ago was that? And I just don't see why they took away this option for a map editor. And of course, with the map editor, I would like to see the mode editor that I think we kind of have a version of it inside Call of Duty every year, but it's not to the extent I want it to. But regardless, I would love an actually kill, not really, because then I would be in prison, then I won't be able to play the game, but I would do something okay, if that's really extreme, to get a map editor inside Call of Duty. But that's the last thing I want to talk about. But go ahead and tell me how you guys all unanimously agree with me down in the comments, because that's what you guys are going to do, because I said what everybody thought and all their thoughts were projected into me before the video even started. But regardless, if there are things I've missed, and that may be a possibility, go and tell me what you guys think they should add to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 when it comes out. Just anything you could think of. But regardless, I just want to ask what you guys think is just something that would be really cool to see inside Call of Duty Black Ops 4. But anyways, that's about it for me. If you guys did enjoy the video, go ahead, do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, especially bell, and yes, I said bell twice because it's important. But anyways, I'm gonna go, and we'll catch you guys on my next video.